Welcome back to another episode of Boys from the Bridge. This is the official channel dedicated to yours truly, Chelsea Football Club, and football in general. Everything you need to know, everything you want to know, it happens right here, right now. Let's get into it. So today we're looking at the next game that we are playing. We're playing against Sevilla in the Champions League group stage. This is the first game in the Champions League that we are going to be playing this season, and it is a huge game. We're going to be playing at home. I cannot wait for this game, and I am going to be doing a preview about all the injuries, suspension, and all the news. I'm also going to be talking about potential players in the opposition team that could be dangerous. I'll be displaying my predicted lineup, the team that I think should go out and will get the job done on the day. This team will win the game, and I will also be predicting the final score at the end. I will also be adding any more signings that could happen, if that's even possible. We spent about £250 million this season, and we are wanting to spend some more in the summer, and before that, in the next window that is happening in January. Before I get into all that good stuff, please, I would really appreciate it if you could please hit the subscribe button for this video so you can get all my videos as soon as I release them, which will be every few days. Give it a like so I know that I should keep making videos. And also, please leave a comment in the comment section below. First off, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review to our game against Southampton. I would like to start off with the goalkeeper, now Kepa. It feels like we are always talking about Kepa. I don't think he had a horrific game, and I don't think we can completely blame him for our draw, which kind of felt like a loss, but he did play a huge part in the second goal that we conceded. I feel like he also is not very good at passing out from the back. He made that one sloppy mistake, and he always wants to pass short. It feels like in the Premier League nowadays, a lot of teams are wanting to pass out from the back in order to create movement for players moving forward. And they want to play like Manchester City do, but I don't necessarily believe in this, as it makes me extremely nervous. I know it makes a lot of fans at home also extremely nervous. So I just think the goalkeeper should always just boot it up the field, and then worst case scenario, it's in their half and they have possession. Another player that I think did not play well at all was Kante. Now Kante has been linked to moves away. I think that Declan Rice would be a perfect replacement for the likes of Kante. Kante has been a fantastic player for us over the last few years, but in recent games he hasn't been playing well. He's been losing possession, giving away unnecessary fouls, and he just had a horrid time. And that's a real issue for me. I think Kante is probably our most important player in terms of that defensive unit and just not allowing players to come through the defense. If he's playing badly, we are going to concede goals, and we need Kante on point every single game. I know obviously there's going to be dips in his performance, but we do need Kante to be as consistent as possible. Azpilicueta is the third player that I believe did not have a good game. He is starting to lose his legs a bit. He is doing some rash challenges. Reece James is definitely going to come and replace him sooner rather than later. I am a big fan of Azpilicueta. I think he's been a fantastic role model, a fantastic captain and leader for Chelsea. But I think it is that time right now that he does need to move aside for the youngster Reece James. Now, looking at Sevilla, the likes of Alonso and Jorginho, who served their suspension in the game against Bayern Munich that we got thumped by, unfortunately, are now available. I don't think we're going to use Alonso at all for this game. I'm not even sure he's going to be on the bench. But Jorginho potentially could have a good role. I don't think we should start Jorginho. I think he should come off the bench, as we do need a defensive player such as Kovacic to play in this team. I'm going to be displaying my predicted lineup, as well as some information on the right-hand side that I think is going to be important in order to beat Sevilla. Now, Sevilla is a Spanish team. They are a very good team. They won the Europa League last season. They dominated Manchester United in the final of that, and they just lost to Bayern Munich in the UEFA Super Cup in extra time. So they are definitely a very dangerous team going forward. I think we can definitely counter them with our explosive, our attacking, and our very creative and dangerous young players. But our defense, our central defending midfielders have to be clinical on the day. They need to make the right challenges. I don't want anyone to get sent off too early. And one of the most important things is mistakes. Now, players' mistakes have cost us a lot this season. The likes of Alonso cost us against West Brom. So I am going to be putting here player mistakes, we have to keep this to the minimum. I don't believe we can allow any players' mistakes to happen in this game. Everyone needs to be focused, determined, and wanting to win. It is very important that we win the first game against Sevilla, as we will build momentum. We didn't have the greatest of games against Southampton. We need to build momentum in this game in order to play Manchester United on the weekend, and we all love beating Manchester United. I will be making a review game straight after this, as well as a preview game to that huge game on the weekend. I will also be featuring my girlfriend in that video, so stay tuned for that. Another aspect that I want to talk about is being clinical. Now, we need to be more clinical in front of goal. I think Timo Werner and Havertz were superb on the weekend, but we still need to be more clinical. We need to put more chances away, as I know we are going to concede goals, unfortunately, this season, so we just have to be more clinical in front of goal. Our goalkeeper, I don't think Kepa should start. I think our defense seems very nervy every time Kepa plays, so I think Caballero should potentially start in goal. Mendy is still unfortunately injured, so he won't be playing for this game, but fingers crossed he'll be back for the big game on the weekend. So Caballero, I am putting in goals for this one. The right back, I am putting Reece James. I think that Azpilicueta is a fantastic leader. We definitely need our fullbacks to run this game. I think the fullbacks is going to be a make or break for this game. I think the midfielders, the contest for that is going to be huge. And the fullbacks. So the likes of Reece James and Ben Chilwell, I don't think there's any other better fullbacks than them. Let me know if you disagree with that, but those two are going to be clinical in going forward and also getting back. Both have a lot of pace and both can deliver a clinical ball. The defenders, I believe Kurt Zouma didn't have the greatest of games. He made that mistake for the second goal, but you know what? He's human. We all make mistakes, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him. He, in my opinion, and a lot of other Chelsea fans' opinion, is the best defender that we have, so I'm going to put him in there. Now, Andreas Christensen, I was a fan of. I'm not a fan anymore. The experience, the leadership. I think this defense that played against Crystal Palace played extremely well. And I think that this team, with this defense, is not going to concede, hopefully, any goals against Sevilla. Moving to the midfield. This is a very important area. I think the likes of Kante is going to start with the likes of Kovacic next to him. They're going to be a pivot in that midfield that won't allow anything to pass them, and they will also be extremely important from getting the ball from the defense to the attackers and the wings. Now, the likes of Hakim Ziyech we saw come off the bench. He still is not looking his entire self. His fitness isn't exactly there right now, so I think the likes of Mason Mount will start this game. I'm going to put Mason Mount on the right. Pulisic is still getting back to his best, but I think this is a great opportunity for him to get some minutes, get some confidence back, and I think him and Werner are going to be extremely important this season in terms of the link-up play. So I'm going to put Pulisic on the left and Werner up front. So sitting right behind Werner is going to be no other than Havertz. Now, Havertz is extremely important to this Chelsea team, his creativity. I know he was at fault for our first goal against Southampton, but I still think he played superbly. He is sensational to watch. He's very calm, and I think he's going to distribute the ball extremely well against Sevilla. Now, this is a very attacking team. However, with the likes of Kovacic and Kante, Kovacic obviously won Chelsea's best player last year, so I think these two in midfield are going to be sensational and very important for us to beat Sevilla. I don't think we have any other better players that we can put here. I think if we put Jorginho in this position, then we can be exposed at times. Some other players that I think are going to come off the bench that are going to be very important is Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi, as well as Tammy Abraham, can have a big part in this game. Their pace, and Tammy Abraham offers something different to Timo Werner, so it's going to be very interesting to see them play. I think they'll be added around the 70-minute mark. Now, some Chelsea players I think that are going to be extremely important for this game. I am going to put some blue flames around them, as all the good things in life are blue. So, let's get into it. A blue player is going to be Pulisic. He is our number 10, so he's definitely got a point to prove now that he's been given that shirt that Eden Hazard used to wear. I believe that he can definitely get to those heights. It'll just take a little bit of time, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he can be injury-free. The next player that's going to be in blue is Timo Werner. Now, Timo Werner got 2 sensational solo goals on the weekend, so I think Timo Werner is going to be a big threat. I hope he gets some space where he can also score more goals. The next player in blue is going to be Havertz. Now Havertz, I think, played superbly on the weekend, and I think his creativity is going to be a big part to us scoring goals. I'm going to be putting a couple of players in red, as these are my main concerns. The likes of Kante is going to go in a red, as I'm extremely nervous about his potential performance against Sevilla. And the likes of Caballero, as he hasn't played that many times, is also going to go in red, as I'm also nervous about his performance. Now, 3 players on Sevilla that are very dangerous is Luke de Jong, their striker. He is Dutch, and he's been scoring a lot of goals recently, so I think we have to close him down. Don't give him too much space to work with, as if you give him space, he is a very clinical player. The next player I want to talk about is Ivan Rakitic. Now, Ivan Rakitic re-signed from Barcelona, as before he played for Barcelona, he played for Sevilla. He's extremely talented and an exceptional player to watch, so I think Kovacic and Kante need to close him down quickly and not give him space either. The last player I want to talk about for Sevilla is a player called Kondo. He is exceptionally gifted, he is very young, he is 20 years old, and he is a defender. He's extremely fast, but when you kick it over his head, sometimes he can get a bit lost about where things are, so I think that is a point that we can exploit. However, he is obviously going to get back fast and recover, but we also have very fast players. So Timo Werner matching up against him is going to be very exciting. I think Hakim Ziyech, when he comes off the bench, is also going to have a point to prove and be a big part of this team. So my prediction for this game is a 3-1 victory for Chelsea. I believe there are going to be a lot of goals in this game, but I believe Chelsea are going to get more of them, maybe concede hopefully not more than 1, and we are going to win 3-1. This is very important for us to get the first victory in this group stage to put us in the right direction. We have spent a staggering £250 million, but we are still wanting to spend more. I won't ever say stop the spending, as you know, I love getting fresh new talent in, and there are always room for improvements. I feel like one big improvement can be that central defending midfield position that Kante plays in, and the likes of Rice would be a perfect replacement. We've been linked to Dybala from Juventus. He is 26 years old, he's Argentinian, and I am a huge fan of Dybala. I think if Dybala is available for the right price, we should definitely go and try and sign him. Another player that we have been linked to is Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. He is a very young player, and he's been linked with all the best clubs around the world. He is also definitely a player that we must try and get, although we do have a lot of strikers, so I think he is definitely not one of the favourites, but if we can get him, I definitely say so. I'll be making a review video straight after the Sevilla game for all the highlights of the game that I'll be putting in blue, and all the lowlights of the game that I will be putting in red. So stay tuned for that one. I hope you all keep well. Come on you Blues. Till next time, see you later.